feeling like I'm Akademiks. Can't ride no wave.
Let's get to the Drake shit, okay? All right. So, an individual, and you know, I've been seeing. Here we go. Oh shit! Fuck. I'm stalling. No, I'm not stalling. There's so much topics to even discuss. And by the way, I seen somebody say, "Yo, act. This better not be like a 4-hour stream." So definitely, I'm gonna. I don't care if I'm drunk as shit. We're gonna make it to 6 hours. Okay. So let's see if we could get to the shit. So essentially, give me 1 second. Sorry, I'm just trying to pull it up there. I can see it. So what ended up happening is that there was a guy. His name is Chris. That he put out some DMs with him and Drake. Now let me see if I can find the DM. Right now. The DM was supposedly this that he put out, right? This is supposedly this guy named Chris. Now, let me explain this guy, Chris, to you. And by the way, we're going to call him, actually. We are going to call him. We're going to call him in a second. So, this guy, Chris, apparently is a friend of Javante Davis, or was a friend of Javante Davis. Now, Drake, you know, all these industry guys have some type of connection. Drake and his team knew this guy, and apparently this guy helped Drake get, like, signed boxing gloves and these other things. And the interesting thing, and I'm going to be very transparent, people. Y'all all know me. I am super transparent. And by the way, I'm glad we're even in this situation, because one thing y'all should know about me, I don't lie, right? And this is why when I tweeted something out and I said source the boy, I usually don't even do that, because I know sometimes people, you know, for certain situations, I won't even put that he told me, just because, like, certain guys, like, I know the cloud chasing method. They're like, they want Drake to answer to them, right? And Drake has told me that. He's like, yo, act, yo, I clear it up for you, but, like, bro, yo, these guys just want a back and forth with me. So if you could clear it up, but just, if you can, don't, like, just throw my name in the mix, because these guys are cloud chasing off of me, and they want, like, he said that, you know me, I always keep it. He said that for, like, Elliot one time. Like, remember when Elliot said that he talked to somebody that said that Drake and Future, and I'll tell the truth. Drake said, yo, Elliot's fucking lying, okay? Elliot's lying. He's making shit up. He's fucking irrelevant. And, yo, I just don't want to respond to Elliot Wilson. You know what I mean? So he's like, yo, you could clear it up. I'm telling you, I never talked to Future. But I don't want to give that nigga the fucking credit, because he's now at the point. This is exactly what he said to me. He said, Elliot's at the point just making shit up. And I'm like, okay, all right. I'm not taking sides here. I'm just like, yo, all right, cool. All right, so I put it out there. I say, yo, Drake say he never talked to Future. Well, I didn't say Drake told me. I said, Drake never talked to Future, right? Now, with me and every other artist, I deal with truth. So, like, bruh, don't tell me shit if it ain't true. I like to stay in truth, okay? It just is what it is. Cool. So, I don't know why randomly I put source the boy, but it was just like, I knew people, it was my first tweet of the year, so I was just like, I know people gonna be like, why you think it's not true? I'm like, I don't think he would care if I just said, told the truth and be like, he told me this. So anyway, I said source the boy. I know, I'm long-winded. Please just bear with me. Okay. So, let me be, again, I'm being fully transparent. I like to be fully transparent. I built my brand and my platform on being fully transparent. And I've always told y'all, you know, when I deal with artists, I don't like people lying to me, period. So the dude had put out, I think it was maybe this DM. Yeah, this, right? And I think this is where some people were like, this is kind of odd. Now, I didn't know this guy from a can of paint. And by the way, I'm about to call him like right now. I know him from a can of paint, but I'm going to tell you why I reached out to Drake. I'm going to be very honest. When I read it, I always look at the source. This is a guy, with all due respect, that had made certain allegations. He said that Stephon Diggs tried to, okay? Less than a month ago. Also, if you go on his page, right? If you go on his page, this guy also said he was clowning Javonte Davis, insinuating Javonte Davis was homosexual. Now, I know y'all are, most of y'all are just fans, but I do know from my mere closeness to the industry, when you see a guy that used to be in the mix and he's just saying random shit about everybody, that's the guy on the outs. And not everything that person say could be trusted because they have an angle as well. Why? They think people have fucked them over. So that's why I reached out to Drake. I said, Drake, is this true? Is this true? Like I'm seeing this message. Now, the message wasn't that bad, honestly, right? I can read you the message. I mean, I don't know the details. So this is supposedly Drake. I mean, I don't know no details, fam. I'm just trying to. I'm just showing you the outside perception that I think there are better ways to go about it. In my opinion, me and Universal. Now, I think this was the important part for people. Me and Universal is like if Nike was funding a campaign about LeBron cheating on his wife, not Adidas or Reebok. Nike, the company he's been with since he started. My situation, it's not no street shit. Everybody before me that tried the label was too eccentric, so they wrote them off as crazy, and they never had to pay for their sins and mistakes. I'm going to make a change and make the building more safer place for every artist moving forward. Your shit is personal, involves violence. And just the way that you're doing it makes it look crazy. That's my opinion, and you don't need to listen to it. I just think if all you're saying is true, there's a better way to handle this than dropping the tape. Let me give you the context to it. This guy wants to air out a few things. He wants to air out that Stephon Diggs. This is the guy who supposedly was talking to Cardi B while Cardi B was pregnant with Offset's kid. That's the guy, right? The football player. This dude wants to air out that guy tried. Now, first of all, and we're going to be into some taboo land, a man saying he almost got sounds crazy. It does kind of sound, what the fuck? What you mean a football player tried to Dwight Howard shit is this? Okay, but who knows? It could be true, right? Now, in hindsight, and now analyzing what Drake is saying, if this is Drake, and I think we'll get into it, Drake is saying, well, because I think this dude brought up a point to say, well, why can't you help me expose this guy? And Drake is saying, no. Well, I guess the guy said, help me expose this guy, because this is the equivalent of you filing a lawsuit, right? And I think Drake is saying, nah, that's snitching. And Drake's reasoning is that I'm going at Universal, right? And the reason I'm going at Universal, which we've always wanted to know, and by the way, I've told y'all, I've asked Drake about the Universal thing before. He didn't volunteer an answer, and I didn't go prodding. I get it. Like, you know what I mean? Certain things, like if I got a lawsuit versus somebody, I might not just want to tell the nigga who I talk random rap shit with that might run it as a headline to explain my business motives too. So I didn't take it no way as Drake not telling me why he's suing Universal. When I hit him about it previously, I said, yo, is it real? And the lack of answer, and obviously that I could pull it from the courts, it's real. The fuck? It's real. So I'm like, I get it. You don't have to, I'm not going to force you to give me a fucking statement. It doesn't work like that. Especially when you think you're cool with somebody. I'm not going to force you. Cool. But this would have been the first time Drake ever spoke on this, right? So it says, me, Universal, is like if Nike was funding a campaign about LeBron cheating on his wife. Now, I ain't gonna lie, when I first saw it, and this is one of the reasons I thought it was fake, because it read wrong. I'm like, bro, are you like exposing LeBron in like a DM? Now, if you really read it in hindsight, he's not doing that. He's actually, and I know some people are like, yo, you're still getting his back. No. What he's saying is that Me and Universal is if Nike was funding a campaign about LeBron cheating on his wife. So, obviously, he's almost saying LeBron isn't cheating on his wife, just like how Universal funded a campaign about him being a pedophile, but he's not a pedophile. So basically saying, imagine if your company funded a campaign with some fake shit with you. That would be the equivalent of Nike funding a campaign about some fake shit with LeBron. So he's kind of not exposing LeBron, but it doesn't look good, honestly, because he just dropped a freestyle, or that little whatever freestyle where he's kind of hinting, yo, Bron, you cheating on your bitch. Let's be honest, right? It don't look good. I'm going to be honest. It don't look good, right? But if you read it with that context, oh, okay. You're saying the equivalent of you suing Universal would be like Nike making up some fake shit about LeBron. Cool. Everybody before me, blah, blah, blah. All right, cool. All right. So this was it. And again, I'm being very honest. So I sent Drake the DM and I said, yo, is this real, bro? And I said, I'm a bit skeptical and I don't want to report it because this same guy has made several accusations about other high-profile people in the last few whatever, So, like, I know guys like this where they're like on the outs, they're saying anything. And Drake flat out tells me, he says, I can read it. I think he just agreed that it was fake. Honestly, he just agreed it was fake. I think he just agreed it was fake. I'll pull it up. Yeah. He basically, I was like, yo, is this real? Yeah, he said, no, I said, this is a fake, right? And he was like, yeah, the dude's a crash out. You know what I mean? Like, he's kind of clout chasing, losing his mind. And he's doctoring shit up for the internet. Because he's trying to get on pages like yours. That's exactly what he said. So I'm like, all right, cool. Right? Now, by the way, I am going to call this dude. We got to, because this is where my journalistic integrity got to get it. And again, if there wasn't some type of controversy here, I would never call this guy. But I understand, and also my reputation is above everything else. Trust. Okay? So one way or another, we're going to have to figure this bitch out. So give me 1 second. Okay. Let me try to call this dude. Now, here's the thing, and I'll say this before. If Drake did lie, I thought this was a worthless lie. If it was a lie, right? I don't think he said nothing too crazy. Other than, yeah, this guy probably betrayed your trust, and he's putting out stuff that you probably don't want him to put out because it's giving a first insight into why maybe you're filing a lawsuit against Universal. But we all know you're filing, or you did a petition to get information to possibly file a lawsuit. So I don't know why this would be a thing to fucking try to, hoodwink the people with. You get what I'm saying? Anyway, let me call this guy. Let's do some journalism, okay? I got him. So his name is Chris. Let's see if we can find him. What's his full? Oh, fuck. Hold on. Let me text this nigga. He don't got Discord. I'll try to get him on Discord. Chris. What's his full Instagram?
Please leave your message for.
Oh no, my bad. All right. Chris Blake Griffith. Okay. Chris Blake Griffith. Okay, so this is his page, right? What I didn't know is that he's been cool with like, and Drake told me this too. Drake was like, yo, this guy, like, we know this, like, this isn't some fake person. This person is known for being around Gervonta Davis, right? Drake did tell me that, right? He says he knows he's known for being around Javante Davis, which, by the way, it goes to even me saying, yeah, this guy's crashing out right now. Why? The dude put up a picture of Javante Davis, which I didn't know this is how Javante looks these days. And he says, I've seen this transition occur once or twice throughout my life. Some other tough guys. Javante Davis. So now the whole industry knows him for being cool with Javante. He's now calling Javante gay. He's saying, Javante Davis, live your truth, champ. Love to all. Respectfully, clearly I can see why you start acting like a bitch. Stroller and a beanbag is fire, though. Girl. Little boy hiding in plain sight. So, again, that's a little bit odd, right? Now he posts a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know. Okay, he's posting Caitlyn. Apparently, they were, like, really good friends. Supposedly, right? I guess he got videos. Hold on. Y'all can hear? Is that Diddy? Okay. Okay, so that's the guy, and that's Javante. And apparently this is how the whole industry knows this guy, right? Cool. So we know we could go to the Stephon Diggs thing too. Oh, he posted my tweet or my DM? What the fuck? See, that's another thing, right? like he's kind of like posting the DMs. I don't know, bro. I don't know, right? Okay. Yeah. So he then posts a Drake thing. And it says, never intended for this convo to turn public, but fuck it. Blogs hit my line and confirm the facts, so let's discuss it. So he says, I've seen him all switch on me faster than a Glock accessory. I never thought the GOAT would choose a side other than mine. Idols turn rival. He's not like us. So he posts this. Then he posts, I guess these are the screenshots. So let's read through it. But I'm trying to. Is that him? Maybe. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, he said hit back. All right, here we go. Let's get into it, chat. We'll get to the fucker right now.
Yo.
Chris!
Yo.
It's a big act in the building, man. How are you doing?
What's up, Slum? How you feel?
I'm doing good. Okay. So
Don't listen, Holmes. Don't let them lie to you like that. You a credible source. You the heartbeat to the industry. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Your whole brand is built on credibility.
You
gotta
right.
tell the
That's
truth.
true.
You gotta deliver the truth. So when Holmes get in a bind and he lean on you to deliver a lie, you put everything in skepticism. I'm an advocate for the boy the same way you an advocate for the boy. And long standing. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
We got real history in me and Holmes.
Okay.
I know you got questions for me and whatnot. I just want to preface with the fact that I'm not no fly by night nigga, Holmes. I ain't just jump out of nowhere. I'm calculated in my stance. So let's go ahead.
Okay, perfect. And by the way, me having this conversation with you is kind of sparked by the internet saying, hey, maybe Drake lied to you. So, of course I could have just like...
I'm telling you he lied to you.
Okay, I could have just dug my head in the sand, but of course we want to get to the truth. So
let's get to it.
So I have a lot of questions to ask about you, but here's the question that prefaces everything, because I thought you were probably, kind of out there, and I use that word respectfully, that phrase respectfully, because when I seen the message and I kind of Googled you, it said that you had made an allegation about Stephon Diggs. And I was just like, Then I look on your page and I see something about Javante Davis. And I'm like, well, it looks like you're kind of having a bad time with maybe the people you did know in the industry. Maybe you're just saying anything random. Could
like I'm spiraling out of control.
Yeah, of course. So could
right.
you...
Quite the contrary.
Could you help me explain or help me understand everything? Because I do remember when the Stephon Diggs thing came up. And of course, again, being very careful, but also very honest, I think people looked at that and be like, well, this doesn't make sense. Stephon Diggs isn't Like, we thought he's not gay because he was just trying to have sex with Cardi B.
That don't mean you're not gay though, champ. But I'm gonna go ahead and serve you the platter that you're waiting for. Pause. Let's walk down this path. So, my relationship with Javante Davis backdates to my time spent building the entertainment department at Under Armour. He and I did his deal, and at that point, we was two kids from the same city, being Baltimore, Maryland. You know, he come from the street. My family come from all of that, but I knew corporate. He knew that. I knew that. And as we walked into the world of entertainment together, once he defeated Jose Pedraza and became world champion, we became business partners, and we grew this thing together. So I ended up leaving the company and just working with him and managing his career full time. Anybody around you can stamp that, even dating back to your days of having back and forth with Casanova. Cass has stamped that from the cell right now.
Okay.
Real shit. So anyways, or you can hear Brash or any of those guys. But anyways, back to that, we was building his career, so on and so forth. And, you know, eventually boys become men. He started making money. Dog started making money. And I'm not here to count my partner's pockets, but if we partners, we always kind of mirrored our relationship to that of Future the Prince and Drake, because that's the people I was studying. I used to be outside them shows. I used to be studying Future when I couldn't get the Drake. Future sit there and just have conversations with me, teaching me the game, so on, so on, so on, so on. And
hey, hold on. Let me ask a definitive question, because as you mentioned, Future, the Prince, and Drake, that's Drake, or at least one of his managers. So are you saying that you were operating in a managerial perspective when it came to Javante Davis?
Yeah, for years, but that's not like an unknown fact. You could go back and like look at my page and you can see that. That's not something that's like a hidden thing. The problem is, as we scaled and became men, boys becoming men, you know how it is even in the early days of going on tour. You might start out, it might be 3 of the guys in one hotel room. Next tour, it might be everybody get their own room, but it's a bullshit hotel. Next tour, everybody get their own room and it's lavish. Next tour, everybody got suites at the best hotel. You get what I'm saying? You just keep leveling up, so on. So when Holmes decided he was going to partner with Amazon most recently, and he did $200 million deal, 7 fights, he looked at everybody around him. He said, yo, we got to button this thing all the way up. So he brought on a couple of photographers, guys that we looked at like family, a guy named 6'4", Ravon Littlejohn. He's like known in the music industry and the boxing world, so on and so forth. Be the predecessor to Al Heyman. Do your homework on Al Heyman. But so 40, he put 40 on paperwork, and it was my turn to go for the paperwork. He got a jealous brother. You know, he used to work on the back of the trash truck. Irony strikes again. We used to watch the Life is Good video where the boy in Pluto is throwing the trash on the back of the truck, and it's like, you know, a garbage bag, shit juice, splashing niggas in the face, so on and so forth. That's what his brother used to do.
So Javante Davis's brother was a trash man.
He was a trash man, and prior to that, he used to work at McDonald's, Holmes. And no knock to anybody out there getting it, but I'm just giving you. I'm giving you some type of resume on who this person was, and my resume versus his resume, we probably wouldn't even be having conversations. But anyways, he's seen an opening. He found out what my salary was going to be, and he lied to his brother. His brother decided to spill a narrative on me. After all these years, bro, I know you're everything.
Wait. Hold on. Let's slow down. So you're saying that his brother realized, you know, you were putting in work all along. The bag comes is $200 million, and you were about to get a salary. I'm guessing a bump, right?
Yeah, I mean, we're just setting up our lives. You know, we're going from living in hotels, then now we're going to buy cribs. You know, we leveling up. We're going to be stationed in one city. I don't want to expose, you know what I mean? We're going to be stationed in a certain city. You know, our kids will be set up a certain way. You know, nannies, so on and so forth for the time that we spend on the road. You know, things that you're supposed to do. And me having intel into like $1 billion entity in, you know, the structure of Under Armour. And even aside from that, my days spent coming up around the OVO clique and asking questions. Future the Prince watched me go from a 17-year-old kid hanging out outside Love nightclub trying to buy the OVO jacket off his back to when he became world champion. And after he beat Liam Walsh in London, they brought us all to Houston for the most recent Houston Appreciation Weekend, the last one that he actually had down there. This is all facts. You know what I mean? Like, this ain't nothing I'm just pulling out the air. But anyways, having all of that intel, it was my job to create the structure around G-Money. And that's what I did. When the bag didn't match up, a narrative was spewed, and it was just bullshit, bro. And the thing about it is, you know how life is. My broke ain't the average person broke.
Yeah.
It's a certain amount of money that costs to be able to live the way that we live. So if my life, let's say it's on a small scale, like 20 bands or something along those lines, that's going to take about a $250,000 salary to be able to satisfy my life at bare minimum. That said, if I'm living off of that and working for free, under the premise, under the bylaws in my mind, I'm saying after 4 months, you'll reimburse me. We going through contract negotiations, and aside from even that, you my man, $100,000. Nigga lost all his money. He's sleeping on my motherfucking couch. I remember after he fought on the undercard of Floyd versus McGregor, which actually was the fight that we put the OVO short, the patch on. Mm-hmm. They changed his opponent last minute, which means his purse changed last minute. You know how these boxers think, bro. It's calculated money all before it even touched. He had in his mind he was going by a Rafe. It was supposed to be his first $1 million fight. They brought that shit down to about $600,000. He was threatening, saying he wasn't even going to fight at all. But the Rafe was $500. He said, you know what, I'm going to go get that. He spent all the money on the Rafe and probably had that bitch for probably 8 months. And then shortly thereafter, he had to swap it out for a SL or something along those lines. But he didn't even have a crib, bro. He was living at my house on my couch as a world champion. I don't say that to the exposed niggas. I'm just letting you know where the loyalty go, bro. I got this GTV shit in my skin. So when I see the switch come and you string me along for 4 months, you throw me 80 grand in a hole, and then my salary get pulled at the same time. You know I'm having a daughter. You the one telling me, yo, let's open a store. You the one telling me January 1st, yo, this, that, and the third, you got a daughter coming. I already got a son. This, that, and the third. I'm showing niggas the way because I was always living and leading by example. I never met him under the pretenses where I needed you in that regard. No, I had a 6-figure salary at Under Armour, and I was the advisor to Kevin Plank before I even left the company. Come on, bro. You can check my pedigree. You can ask around. I'm not some nigga just flying around here collecting crumbs. Real validation when I speak.
So let me ask you a question. So why do you think that Gervonta never wanted to break bread with you then? I know you mentioned his brother, but like...
Nah, it's since I'm speaking on my brother, let's speak to it from a compassionate place. He come from the group home, and for so long in his life, anything that grew to become something always left him. So I think if he felt like if I catapult, we would kind of look at, you know, LeBron and Mav and Rich and those guys. Just imagine if Rich was only allowed to have one client. You would never get Clutch Sports. So the vision that we had for the company that we were building, mine was a little different. I'm leveraging, you know, OVO and them come to town. I got 14 passes to hand to the hoes, bring my little bro, this, that, and the third, da-da-da. I don't even know if you remember back in the day, Drake had a moment in Houston. I set up a run because Gervonta had just came back and he was training for this same fight to fight on the undercard of Floyd versus McGregor. He was training and Drake invited us out. So to make it look like he wasn't being a distraction to the boy, I'm like, yo, can we connect a run? So on and so forth. I played my little brother's song in the background. It was Safe House. Oliver, and my little brother's my Gray, Oliver calls Drake like, yo, that new song you got is fire. He's like, yo, that's not even me. And it was my little brother. But long and short, moment came and went. That song is Safe House. It was a song that people thought was supposed to be both of them. We had a conversation about it backstage at Migos, Aubrey and the Three Migos tour, about him potentially getting on the record. But my brother was being managed by a dude, Nino, who was working heavily with Party at the time. Got some history. He's got early history with Drake as well. If you know Nino, he's got producing pedigree. But yeah, fuck this situation up. The dude Nino, fuck this management situation up. The Stephon Diggs situation, let's bring that to the fold.
Okay, let's get that.
Because that's the justified one if we really want to give you what you need, champ.
Yeah. Because I'm going to be honest with you. Like, from the word around town with Stephon Diggs, he's smashing about 4 rappers' girlfriends. I never heard of him smashing niggas. I'm going to be honest.
No, dog is real activity, but I'm going to tell you, it was a couple fashion weeks where we're in a couple of parties, and I'm like, bro, we are only straight niggas here? And then I watch them walk over to certain individuals whose names I won't mention now, who I know, and hug them a little differently than I would greet somebody of another sexual preference type shit. First of all. Second of all, but anyways, it was certain times even he put his hands on my shoulder as we were designing his Liam collection that ended up turning out to be like some glorified Forever 21 men's type shit when we were supposed to be making couture. Put his hands on my shoulder and said, you know you're the muse for this collection, and looked at me dead in my eyes. I'm thinking to myself, what type? And his girl was sitting across. I'm like, what? I would never say no shit like that.
Hold on. Do you think he was trying you, or maybe this is like maybe he's drunk or something? You know, some people get a little zesty when they drunk.
That's not when he tried me, Vlad.
Okay.
He tried. See all right, let me give you the game, champ. I'm gonna go ahead and walk it down. You know the script.
Well,
if you got these bitches in rotation,
yeah.
you got to find the weak point. If I got millions and millions and millions of dollars, we can't even quote the boy. What am I willing to give it to get what I want tonight? Ain't no telling. That's how Holmes is living his life on a daily. So he might look at you and your little $20,000 Amex bill that you sitting on that you need to clear in order to get your credit up and run. Man, I got that easy. You know what the league paid me a week? That's simple. For what? For you on demand at any point in time, man? Come on, I need that. Sap. That's the vibe. So with that said, he's setting it up like that. He ordering them like Uber Eats, and they come.
Yeah.
Holmes got a strong play. I can't cap. He got a strong play. He'll tap in with the agent.
Wait,
find out
hold
where you live.
Wait. So wait, Stephon Diggs ain't paying for the joint now. Come on, bro.
What you think? You think that you hold on? You think he cute?
No. I heard he got a mean game. I heard he know how to talk to them.
Don't nobody got no game like that, nigga. This shit is pay for play. You think Carisha Vlad?
Hold on, I don't know who Vlad is, but hold on.
I'm sorry, I'm wild. Act. I'm talking about Carisha. Act. You know the game?
Oh,
she fresh off Puff.
Oh yeah, that is true. That's true. But Stephon Diggs ain't got it like that now. Come on, now. Stop playing,
bro. Let me keep the main thing, and just give you the script on what he did to me. So what happens is you find the weak point, you exploit that. Oh, I got that, this, that, and the third, and now that person psychologically feels indebted to you. So I had a situation where, my son's mom, she looking at my life. She calculating, you know how they go.
Pocket watching.
She need more. Yo, you know the score. She need more for this. She need more for that. And even aside from just that, she looking at who I'm with now. I'm about to have a new baby, so on and so forth. She want to cause friction because to keep my attention elsewhere, let me just rouse some shit up. So what she does, and at the time she dating somebody who in the league, he funding the lawyer. She telling him a narrative that's completely capped. Anyways, I'm like, yo, bro, I think I need, and at the time, me and Stephon are designing his line. While I'm designing his line and he running the bread. He's like, yo, what's wrong with you? We riding back from the club one night in DC. He had just did the celebrity game for his charity, so on and so forth. Riding back to his crib, it's probably 4 a.m. And I'm in the car. I thought I had what was something that it wasn't. And I start, my mind start doing shit, whatever the case is. We riding back. He asking me about, yo, bro, you seem like you need help with something. I'm like, bro, you got the public opinion. You got the big face. I need a high profile lawyer to walk with me in this courtroom and help me get my son back or denounce whatever she got going or whatever Holmes is funding for, or whatever the case is. He's like, man, don't worry about that. You can get that for me tomorrow. I got that. That's easy. I said, it's not about the money, bro. I need you to set me up with a lawyer. He said, man, I'll do both. Don't even worry about it. Just keep working on the line. So as we walking toward the crib, get out the car. It's a 911 Porsche, 2 seats. He put his lips to my motherfucking ear. Pause, Vlad. Pardon the left.
Yeah.
Pardon the left. Lips to my ear, talking about come to my room. He makes a left and go up a spiral staircase. I make a right, go all the way down the hallway to a bathroom. My pupils big as a bitch. I'm slapping water on my face, cold water on my face, trying to wake the fuck up for as long, like about 45 minutes. I don't know if I'm gonna walk out this bathroom. There's a bunch of girls in the crib. Mind you, it's settled. But it was a bunch of people there earlier in the day. It's 4 o'clock in the morning at this point. I don't know what the vibe is.
Maybe you were trying to set up a freak off, like get mad bitches that's run through them.
No. You don't put your lips to your man ear though.
Oh yeah, nah. You're right.
Yeah, and he had slipped a little tongue. So I'm like, what the fuck just happened, huh? So that's why I'm beelining to the bathroom. I'm wiping his little bit of saliva out my ear, getting my thoughts
Wait, he
together.
put his tongue in your ear? Oh, that's a freaky nigga.
Yo, he's the zestified nigga. But honest,
a zest monster. What the fuck?
Act. You gotta think, bro. The same. They draw a parallel between an NFL game being like multiple car accidents. If you want a bad car accident, say shit flipping this, that, third, what they gonna prescribe you? Pain medication, correct?
Yeah. You think he got CTE?
Right. If he's taking the same pain medication that somebody at an EDM festival would potentially be taken to go crazy, this, that, and the third. There could be a connectivity of an issue going on. And the NFL got a thing where they just want you to go out on the field and perform. Habits can form, so on and so forth. I honestly think the drugs done turned his butt up, and he just couldn't help himself. He got a little zestified, and it was what it was. He tried the wrong one. I come out that bathroom, and
what happened when you come out the bathroom? All right, when you come out the bathroom, what the fuck happened at that point?
I come out the bathroom. I was greeted by like 3 or 4 girls that's trying to get me to corroborate a story. It was also his one of the brothers that was ended up getting charged and convicted in the robbery case that had to do with me. I saw you post a video. That was a cute segment.
Yeah, hold on, wait. I thought that so the narrative we got was that because you didn't suck his dick, they were beating your ass up.
No, that's not what happens. So what happens is, in that moment, they try to get me to corroborate this story. They take my clothes. They put bullshit on me. I had like a Ramoa trunk, the big one, so on and so forth. They took my suitcase, gave me the most bullshit suit. A homeless man wouldn't take this suitcase from me. Shout out to the homeless.
Yeah.
Swear, OD. Send me to the airport. No ticket, no nothing. Matter of fact, they put me in a car. I didn't even know I was going. It just so happened to be the airport. I go. And I did have a return flight home from coming down here, coming to DC specifically for the celebrity game. Yeah, and I take that ticket to the front desk, and we were able to swap it out because they took everything from me. They stripped me, like literally, and sent me back.
Hold on, but why though? Like I'm trying to get the why.
I now know who he is. I never knew him in that regard. He never tried me in that regard.
Now you have confronted the Zest monster and
oh my gosh, the boogeyman is now alive. And now that he knows that I know and I don't corroborate, it's just a walking, ticking time bomb for me to be able to do something along the lines of what you and I are doing right now.
Oh.
But anyways, I get back to LA. When I get back to LA, it was Memorial Day, and I was leaving my girl house, and you might not know me, but I'm known in the industry for connecting dots from the world of strategic partnerships, and those people typically tap my shoulder for like aesthetic curation, styling, if you will, but it's a little bit more personal than that.
Mm-hmm.
So Chrome Hearts is like a good partner of mine. We come up with exclusive pieces. They always give me access. I never had a problem, so on and so forth, which is why you see Gervonta Davis flourishing in that light as we speak right now. But anyways, back to the topic. In my bag, my carry-on bag, since it was the holidays, I'm moving around. You know it's LA. I might go to the club later. But in my bag, I had a shit ton of just one-of-ones, rings, bracelets, wallet chains, so on and so forth, some of which you've seen Stephon end up walking into Monday Night Football in later on in the storyline. But anyways, I walk into my building. I get off on my floor. The first thing I see is his half-brother standing right there. They say, "What's up with all that Chrome shit?" And I back onto the elevator, and then he walks toward, and he put his hand in as the sensors were trying to close it. It opens up. 2 brothers follow. 2 other guys follow, and they pull me out the elevator. But bro, they strapped. What people don't realize is these niggas had guns. You go out there trying to throw all the fist fights you want. I know the building. I'm home at the end of the day. These niggas not home. I'm trying to get my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, in my crib, it's a Chrome Hearts jacket with 100+ crosses on it. They talking about the crosses is XYZ, 300 per cross or whatever the fuck the case was at the time. This jacket getting me motion. I'm fucking with it. I don't know what they really on, but I know what they there for. First thing he said is, "What's up with all that Chrome shit?" And I'm hearing niggas, "You ain't gonna say nothing. You ain't gonna say nothing." They got knives. They got guns. It is what it is, bro. I just had to do what I had to do to protect myself in that moment. But after that, I survived it, so on and so forth. His brother was charged. I didn't know the other niggas' 2 names. Bro, I got a history. Like, when I was coming up with G.
Who's his brother? Who's his brother?
His brother's name is, I'm not talking about Trevon. Him and Trevon have the same mother and father.
Because he in the league too, right? There's a nigga named Trevon in the league, right?
Trevon, he played for the Cowboys. That's their little brother. The middle brother, his name is Derez Marshawn Diggs, but he go by Marshawn because that's Stephon middle name. So he has a different mother. He has a different mother.
Wait, so you're saying all the Diggs brothers are zesty?
No, I ain't say that.
Oh, okay. Just Stephon.
I'm not. I can't speak to Trey being a zest ball, I can't speak to Stephon just because of the personal experience. Like, it's been times I'm around the guys and they're like, yo, bro, come to the room, this, that, and the third, because there's hoes in the room. So I ain't gonna do that. Trey done hit me multiple times. Yo, bro, come to the room, this, that, and the third. I get up there, it's 7 joints. You know what I mean? It's different.
Yeah.
But if a nigga put his tongue in your ear, talking about come to my room,
that was wild.
I don't give a fuck what bitch in your room, Holmes. You on different timing.
What the fuck?
But let's get back to the fact that the nigga lied to you, though, Holmes. Why you let him do that to you?
All right, hold on. Okay. Wait. No. We getting through all these. Drake next. Drake. Okay. So basically, in your opinion, Stephon Diggs tried you. You didn't go, but then later, because of your association and everything with Chrome Hearts, and they realized you wasn't going, they tried to press you. Had guns, knives, blah blah blah. Charges got filed, whatever. But you got off of that, right? Holy shit, my phone died. Stephon Diggs done cut the connection on us, chat. Hold on. Now, the reason why we're getting into this, if y'all don't know who was on the line, my bad, I'm charging real quick. So, that's Chris Blake. This is all going to connect to the Drake shit because apparently he was trying to expose Stephon Diggs and wanted Drake to help him expose Stephon Diggs. Okay? Hold on. Why this shit not turning on? Hold on. All right. It's back on. It's getting back on. Thank y'all for the welcome back, people. We here. The fuckery has returned. Holy. I haven't streamed in a while, so we got to lock in for like a good 6-7 hours today. Okay. My bad. This is all going to play back to this whole Drake thing. Okay, my bad. All right, fuck. Okay, good. Got it. Let me just hit him back. Yeah, my bad. Apologize, chat. Apologize. Hopefully this will work. Why this shit not showing that it's charging? Okay, it is. It's charging now. Huh? Let me call him back. My bad, chat. This is crazy. Says Stephon Diggs put his tongue in his ear. That's that freaky nigga shit, huh? Chat, y'all think that's CTE or that's like just zest? Hold on. Let me call him. What's going on my phone? This shit just died again. Okay. All right, we're going to get this guy back on the phone. So, the key thing, and we're at a good point in the story, and I can do a recap, I guess. So, essentially, this guy, like, we heard the Javonte Davis stuff, blah, 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 even though recently he did expose. So, this is him and Stephon Diggs. I didn't even know Stephon Diggs took pictures like this, but this is him and Stephon Diggs. So, look like he's a stylist type slash, image consultant slash manager. He said he managed Javonte Davis. Looked like he was helping Stephon Diggs out with some either style consultancy or some type of, maybe developing a brand that, he could, bring to a bigger clothing company to kind of work with. We see pictures of him with Stephon Diggs here, right? Him and Stephon here. Looked like they were close too. And as we go up, and by the way, if we go to Twitter, actually, so if we go to Twitter, we could see the video that he was talking about. Chris Blake Stephon. So the video he was talking about ends up being this right here. Right? So he said he wasn't beat up because he was, he denied gay sex with Stephon Diggs. He said after Stephon Diggs licked in his inner ear, whatever, nothing happened. But I guess he said that he felt that they knew he wasn't going, so they got to make sure he's not going to run his mouth later. And then he had some like Chrome Heart shit, and that's when he got confronted. And Yeah, supposedly this is Stephon Diggs' brother named Darius Diggs. Okay. Okay. And they basically jump him. Okay. They basically jump him. Okay. And there's another angle or whatever. Shows a whole bunch of stuff happening. And he says this has nothing to do with him getting assaulted in terms of him not doing gay sex. But that is the backdrop. Let me try to call this guy again.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad. My phone died. Yeah.
It's all good.
Okay. Great. So I was trying to tell everyone that this is all kind of sequentially getting to the point where we're getting to, because this whole thing with the brother of Stephon Diggs does eventually lead into this conversation that you had with Drake, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So, by the way, we do have the video that TMZ put out, and it looked like,
Right.
it kind of matches up with the story that looked like this guy
Right.
named Derez tried to get at you in the elevator, him and some other guys, and blah, blah, blah. And now, let's be clear before we get to the next part, which involves Drake. You said these guys got arrested for this?
So, Derez got arrested because I knew Derez's name.
Okay.
The reason anything even lands into the realm of anything Drake related
Uh-huh.
is when Stephon Diggs walks onto the field against the Buffalo Bills
Okay.
for the reunion game or whatever the fuck you want to call it, and he put free chap on his eye black.
He said free who?
Free chap, CHAP, on his eye black.
Who's Chap?
That's what the fuck I said, and that's what social media said. So I go on Twitter, and my peoples is sending shit through. Yo, this the guy from the video. This the guy from the video. This the guy from the video.
Wait,
Chap
he said,
turns out
so is Chap or Champ?
Chap is in CHAP.
Okay.
But he turned out to be one of the guys whose name I didn't know that yanked me out the motherfucking elevator, snatched the chains off my neck that said my son name, threatened my motherfucking life in that elevator. Holmes, I done federal probation before. I'm not going into the... Just imagine if you worked at Goldman Sachs and two guys decided to get funny and meet you at your crib and this, that, and the third after you done revolutionized your life, so on and so forth. I'm not going back into a trick bag.
Yeah.
Don't get it twisted. And I don't mean to fast forward shit. And I love the boy. I love the boy, bro. But at a certain point, we saw Hov evolutionize. We seen him put the tie on around like 30, 31. Eventually, he put streetwear back on and shit like that, but he became a man. I love the boy. But if you look at the No Face video, if Drake going on 38 years old, he got his arm around niggas that's fully gray. They got to be 47, 48, 49. I don't want to see thugs doing that shit. I love the boy, but that look crazy. No face with niggas that got kids. That's my age. Come on, bro. I don't want to see that from my GOAT. I want you to go grab a few young niggas that got the ability to spit like Yachty and some, and give them a platform similar to what yours was. Charge them boys up. You got the intel. You talk about making the building a safer place. Do some shit like that.
Okay. So all right. So again, we want to get fully into the Drake stuff. Pause. All right. So the free chat.
But it landed.
So
the free chap shows up on the eye black. When the free chap shows up on the eye black, I find out it's a guy by the name of Charlie Jordan, who also has been involved in a bunch of other shit, this, that, and the third. At a point in time, he might be free now from what people have been sending me, so on and so forth. But at this point in time, they had him arrested in Maryland or something along those lines for drugs and guns. It was a bunch of shit. If you look at like the little tags on my story, the Justice for Chris Blake type shit, my Instagram is Chris Blake Griffith. If you look at the highlights on my story, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about as I break it down as things were uncovering in front of my own eyes. It was Instagram detectives that helped bring the shit to the light. The reason them boys didn't get charged because I didn't know their name.
Oh, Charlie Jordan. Okay, so Charlie.
Yeah, bingo.
So he got arrested in connection to some of the shit he did to you.
He got arrested on some whole other shit.
But he later got a charge for that too.
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Yes.
And then there's another guy named Corey Darnell Mack. Okay.
Bingo. He was the third party. Them two boys I had no intel on until he decided to walk out on the field with the free chap under his eyes. And at this point in time, bro, it's big bank, little bank. The same way we was talking about how I go with the hoes. These niggas be hoes too. I hate to say it, but it is what it is. I watch people switch on me quicker than a Glock accessory, bro. I'm talking about snap of a motherfucking finger. So to see the boy pull the plug on me as you got to think, if I'm saying I'm close to you in the same way you come to DC and soon as you land, all the guys hit me. They want to go to Rose Bar. I'm setting it up. It's a Monday. It's a light day. CJ, Mark, Chubbs want to go out, this, that, and the third. We at Rose Bar on a Monday. It's probably just us there. Like literally on some shit like that. Or Daniel from Division come to the city, 100 wings from stadium, 200 wings from stadium. It was almost like I was the mayor in that sense. So as I go around, moving around guys like Drada, Mayor, who got relationships with Pusha T, and you got beef, and I'm in a city like DC where Pusha T actually lives on the outskirts of, bro, I'm actually holding the fort. I got this OVO shit in my skin. I'm in LA. I got homeboys that come from all walks of life as I'm out here, bro. I get busy. That said, if I'm around Kendrick people, this, that, and the third, and I'm still holding the fence, same way when I was around G and I was constantly waving the OVO flag, and this nigga was telling me I was dick riding because I was doing it for free because I saw the motherfucking vision, bro. But what I'm saying is when Holmes pulled the plug on me, after I done stood with him and aligned with him for all this time, I'm like, bro, what type shit you on?
Okay,
and
right.
And I didn't even ask you for nothing.
Wait,
and
all
I
right,
said,
okay. Hold on. Perfect. So now let's get to the Drake stuff, and I'm gonna pull that up on a separate tab, right? So, all right. So now we get the whole Stephon Diggs thing. We get his brother. We hear about the free chap. We hear all that, right? Now, we then later see you publish these DMs that has to do with Drake. It appeared that looked like you guys were having a conversation. Looked like the conversation didn't go too well. I want you to give me the context because the conversation was later posted by you. And from what we see, like I'm looking on one of your posts, you says, "Damn gang, unfollow me from college day playing blah blah blah." Explain to me what the nature of the conversation in the last couple of days was, and where the disappointment and breakdown was that led to all of this, and subsequently you putting out these DMs. Which, by the way, and I'll tell you this, he basically says you're spiraling. He says you're capping clouches. Okay.
Okay, great. That don't make me a liar.
Okay.
Yeah, no matter what you want to call me, whatever, no matter what adjective you pull out the book, whatever synonym you pull for said adjective, it don't make me a liar. And what it did for me when he called me a liar, and I'm gonna get to your point, but what it did for me when he called me a liar, it made me think about everything that everybody ever said about that man, about his writing credits. When I see 45 fucking names or anything of the like, bro, and I want to speak respectfully because at the end of the day, he's still my GOAT. I just think what he did was some Karen shit, and I always rode with him. And if you look at me like I'm spiraling, how the fuck it look in front of the whole world?
What do you think is some Karen shit?
That's what I'm getting to. Let me get to my point.
Go ahead.
In the middle of a rap beef, bro, and I don't know if it's American. I speak respectfully because at the end of the day, these boys raised me to a sense. So I just want to make sure I'm speaking respectfully, bro. You don't file a lawsuit for defamation when you said the same shit about him that he said about you, vice versa. That's a word for that. Come on, bro. We don't play like that. That's foolishness in the middle of a rap beef. Defamation? You want to pull that card?
Do you think
I thought that was sideways? That's it is.
So you believe Drake doing that was a snitch move?
What he's doing on the label right now is taking a flashlight and saying, "Oh, all the bullshit that you did on me, you did it for him too. I don't align with that, so now everything got to blow up." It's like watching Frank Lucas in American Gangster to a certain degree. And again, I speak respectfully. It's not necessarily no street shit. And what I was trying to relay to Holmes is my shit ain't no street shit. I don't know these niggas from no street shit. Stephon ain't no street motherfucker. He got a couple dollars. He got a couple dollars and some crash out dummies. And that's why the fucking shit went the way it went. Zestified, press the button. It is what it is. Zesty sauce, press the button.
So also, let me ask you, did you share these opinions before things went left? Because I think people will be like, if did you stand by him filing a lawsuit until you felt you were done wrong?
No, I never necessarily stood by him filing the lawsuit. And what I also want to clarify to you is these messages are not from the last couple of days. We had this conversation over the holidays, he and I. I gave him ample amount of time because at the end of the messages it says, "Give me some time. I'm on a plane. I'm going to find another place to write this, that, and the third." I waited. And in true Drake fashion, You wrote me off, and then you never wrote back. I'm not here to tell no songs. These is cold facts. Come on, Holmes. Come on. I waited ample. You go do the stream with Aiden.
Wait,
I'm waiting. I'm
wait,
waiting.
wait.
I'm
Let
waiting.
me ask you a question.
It's like the Varnell Jones episode of Martin, when Varnell said that he could come on the show and he didn't actually expect him to get his. You see what I'm saying? Do you understand the parallel?
No, I do hear you, and I understand it. But let me ask you a question, because you said to me you didn't ask for anything, but your behavior does appear like you felt like he didn't deliver something, or he didn't at least give you an answer. So what did you expect even going to him with this? Because if, and again, you know, we could later, you know, go through some additional steps to make sure these are actually verified actual DMs. But if we're just gonna go with that saying already, what he was saying, right? Like, he said something to you. He says, "You're asking me to post a tape about you."
So I got you. So I'll clarify that in a jiffy. I was working on a mixtape, and I sent it. It's called Chris Blake the Mixtape. It's available everywhere right now. My Instagram is Chris Blake Griffith. Chris Blake the Mixtape. I'm working on it, and I sent him the SoundCloud link before it even went up. It's chilling. He and I every now and again we're chatting at DM, so on and so forth. I can prove it, bro. Like, this ain't nothing to talk about. Are you from Jersey or New York or whatever? I'm from Baltimore. If I was home, I'd just ride down the street. I could show you. Why would I lie to you? But anyways, back to and he didn't even say nothing OD for me to. Why would I create DMs calling myself a rat? It don't even make sense. Anyways, back to the topic. What you asked me? Hold on.
No. So what he said to you is that you're asking him to post.
Oh yeah. So I sent him the tape. I sent him the tape early. I said, "Yo, let me know what you think." And then after I said, "Let me know what you think," it's just marinating. It's cool. I didn't expect nothing. I just said, "Let me know what you think." Once I seen that he had unfollowed me, it wasn't that I expected him to do anything. At that point in time, my social media was just was the only platform I had to be able to elevate my voice against the quote unquote powers that be, that have more popularity or more capital or access to capital, so on and so forth, to be able to suppress what actually occurred to me that I deemed to be wrong. So at that point in time, at the very least, I expected my family to just not switch. People I considered to be friends to not switch. And and me knowing the relationship that backdates since the early stages of his career, from So Far Gone days.
What was that relationship? Because again, I see you post a few things, but you might have to contextualize it, because I'm not gonna lie, and I'm not playing devil's advocate here, but I kind of, it sounds like he's saying, if all these messages are true, right? It sounds like he's saying, "Yo, dude, I want to be left out of your issue. I don't want to be a guy posting or seeming to amp this up."
This is my thing, though. You still follow the niggas that don't even fuck with you. G don't even fuck with you. That's why I sent them the boxing gloves.
Who's G?
I'm talking about Javante. He followed Cash and them. He don't even follow Drake back. The reason he never signed, and every time I would see Preem, I got to keep answering the question, because he wrote G asking for some gloves. He's like, "Yo, can you coordinate this for me?" G asked me that. I go get the gloves. I lay all the gloves out at the crib for multiple days, multiple weeks, multiple months. I kept laying these gloves out with the Sharpie. Preem only asked for one pair of gloves. But out of my just thinking, strategic mind, I'm going to bless all the guys. Because if I give the one, I know the next one, I need some too. So I just lay it all out. You can look at the thing and zoom in and see the names: Oliver, Future, the Prince, Rock, so on and so forth. The guys I got relationships with, so on and so forth. I laid them all out for the gloves to get signed. He looks at me and tells me I'm not signing no gloves for a nigga to throw away my shorts. If he can show me he still got my shorts, I'm signing gloves.
Wait. Hold on. Okay. We're getting somewhere now. So you're saying that Javante Davis refused to sign these boxing gloves? Why though?
Yes.
Like, what's
I just told you.
Because Drake threw away his shorts?
He has a memorabilia like haul at his crib, jerseys, so on and so forth. When the boy would post, he looking like, "Where my shorts? Where my shorts? Where my shorts?" Just no different if you gave him like some form of like expensive memorabilia and you had like a memorabilia section in your home, you would probably look at it. I think he calls it the Hall of Fame. Don't quote me. I don't want to be wrong. I usually be right. That's why I'm very careful with my words. But yeah, he was looking for it and he was like, "Man, he don't got my shit. He don't got my shit." If he could show me this, that, and the third, I'd do it. And he never did it. But even still, I'm always offering tickets to the guys for the fights because they would ask. I'm always offering the plug. I'm always sending the invite. I'm always doing what I got to do, and the opportunity was always vice versa. Drake got the shows at, what was the Apollo Theater, this, that, and the third. I couldn't even get right myself. I'm sending Stefan's assistant. You know what I mean? Under my name, or sending my girl under my name, or my ex, or my BM under my name. It was never a problem in that regard. And we always had that kinship. It was always like that. It was always love. Even if it was me on behalf of G or me by myself, it was always love. So to be in a situation where all I really needed was nobody else to switch. Just don't nobody else leave me on this island by myself when I'm watching everybody pull a plug. So all I did was send them a message. Go ahead.
So let me ask you this question. And you know, I like to be very honest because the internet kills me because they think I'm like Drake walking stick, or beating stick. They're like, yo, he says anything to you, he lies to you. And me notoriously, I don't really even one time I wanted tickets to his concert, I didn't even get it. It's like I don't really hold people to that because also I do understand at that level there's so many other people that are requesting the same thing. You're dealing with a million people. I know how show days are. Do you feel like any of this might be entitlement on your behalf?
Bro, what I'm saying to you is anytime I ever asked for something on the opposite end of things, I always got it. I didn't ask for shit. Me asking you as my homeboy, yo, let me know what you think it is. It's not me asking you for shit. Like, I didn't ask you to post it. I didn't ask you to like it. I didn't, nothing. And it's honestly loose. It's no, like, I barely have a relationship with you now, but you called me. If I sent you a message and said, yo, bro, let me know what you think it is, this, that, and the third, I didn't wild out on him because he didn't respond about that. I asked him why he unfollowed me, and I gave somewhat of a preface as to what I was thinking when I wrote the message. That's why he responded the way he responded. The way I took his response, and I'll give you my personal take, yo, bro, where I come from, Baltimore, Maryland, you don't call nobody no rat without no paperwork, first of all. And if you listen to Drake in The Heart Part 6, 1090 Jake would have tore all the walls down. He know that. And if that's the case, I don't know if it's a testament of jumping off the porch late or all respect to him never jumping off the porch at all. I don't even know if they have porches where they come from. I all respect still. I know they come from certain places and this, that, and the third, but me studying the boy, I don't know if a porch was ever involved. That said,
wait, hold on.
You don't throw that rat word around, bro. You don't play with that word, bro.
Let me read his response. Are you talking about this response? He says,
blah. Before you even go any further,
brother. I don't know if you.
My bad. I'm sorry.
Hold on. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Ak. I apologize. Utmost respect.
It's all good.
If you say I don't have all the details, fam, you don't call nobody a rat.
Hey, are you talking about the message? Are you talking about the message you posted where he supposedly said, "You're asking me to post a tape about you ratting on people, G. I just don't really come from a family or a friend group or a city where that's acceptable. I live by a code that's become law. We all got to deal with our own shit off of here, not telling you to be on some super gangster shit or tell you what to do."
Not that message.
Okay, all right. Is there another one? All right, hold on.
The next one when he says, I don't have all the details, fam.
Okay. All right, bet. So he said, I don't know all the details, fam. I'm just showing you an outside perception. I think there's better ways about going about it than he makes him and Nike, him and Universal compared to Nike and LeBron thing. And then he says, your shit is personal. It involves violence. And And the difference is your shit's personal. You're the one that's upset that they tapped the other guy's shoulder and gave him the same pack. You remember when Kanye kept screaming, yo, Drake and Bad Bunny got the same package. It was the same package they removed from me and charged him up. All he's mad about, and I say this with love and respect, and I honestly speak from a place of subjectivity as I say this, it just looked like they pulled the pack from him and charged Kendrick up. And he don't like the way it went down. And much like how Kanye went, quote unquote, spiraling, he went, quote unquote, spiraling. You don't file no defamation lawsuit, petition, whatever the case is, in the middle of a war on words. Come on, bro. Hold on.
You don't do that.
By the way,
you don't call nobody a rat and also say, I don't have all the details. In order to call somebody a rat, you got to have the details. And y'all stepped the gun up Y'all heard what y'all heard. No
Wait, hold
disrespect
on.
to
Let me
God.
just interject here, and I will say this. And by the way, if you're wondering why I went to him to ask if this was true, is
You should
because
have. I respect it.
the reason why I asked him is that I have a lot to say if this is his reasoning, right? Where he's criticizing Universal. I have a lot to say if that's what he actually feels, because it's, you know, as much as I'm one of the biggest fans of his, I just don't think you could I just don't think you could get at them for doing something that they've probably done in your favor a bunch. So
that was my point, bro. That was my point. So let's move. Let's
okay.
move forward under the. Let's move forward under the context that I'm not a sack of shit lying to you. Because at any point at this conversation, if you want to send flight information, I will be where you are, and I can prove it to you that I'm not lying to you. You know how these phones
Has
work.
he blocked you?
Me, so
Has he blocked you?
Yeah,
yet?
you know. Come on, clockwork, textbook. Come on, bro.
Okay,
But I'm a man of receipt.
Well, if he blocked you, how could you prove it?
When I show you the date, the time, every single message he was sending back and forth, I was screenshotting and sending it to my best friend. Because at the time I'm in bed, laying next to my girl and my 9-month-old daughter, thinking to myself, I'm going back and forth with the biggest artist in the world right now, who just so happened to be somebody who I consider to be a mentor, and he actually gave me his reasoning as to why he went back at Universal the way that he did.
Okay, so I also have to ask you this.
And I was screen recording the entire time.
Okay, and I have to ask you this because, listen, me and Drake have shared many conversations. Me personally, especially if we're talking about personal things, and it seems that you and Drake were closer than me and him have ever been, honestly, right? I don't record this shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's not something...
you call me a rat, my nigga. You call me a rat.
Okay.
Oh, you
felt
me a rat.
Makes sense. You felt offended.
I'm from Baltimore, nigga. I don't come from, like, a place where you just carry that. You see... You call somebody a rat in this industry.
No, I get it.
What's the connotation with the name? Come on, bro. Your kids got to carry that. You don't play with my name like that. All respect the GOAT, bro. Just be accurate with what you're saying. You don't put the word rat with I don't have all the details. Anybody on this stream right now that ever been through anything real will stamp what I'm telling you. You don't use the word rat loosely, Holmes. That's not where we come from. That was my issue. That's my only problem.
That's valid.
Don't call me no motherfucking rat. Don't call me no rat. And then the fact that you said I was lying about some shit that you said, that rubbed me wrong because it made me put skepticism on everything you ever said. And I love you, bro. My heart was broken when I heard the reference Vori track on Mob Ties. I thought you was really pissed off. But I still credit him with the fact that he came back at the very end of the song. Yeah, they shook. Yeah, heard about it. Yeah, you get the elements of the boy. Great, this, that, and the third. But I got to tell you the truth, Holmes. Like I just told you, rat and lack of details don't align. You got to be able to read that. Anybody will tell you that, bro. I don't know if you come from it or not. Anybody will tell you that.
All right, okay. So let me ask you this question, right? I think you reasonably are going through a lot of shit, and you've given me a lot of information that I could understand if I'm putting myself in your shoes, how you could feel like, yo, A, B, C, and D, this is going maybe not the way you would like it, and you're trying to use whatever leverage or whatever resources you can to try to, do what you got to do, right?
Once you hear the word rat, you automatically start thinking from every angle, who's trying to take me out, bro?
All right, hold on, but don't you think Drake is going through the same though? And I'm not trying to victimize him.
That's why I wrote to him. Continue to read the messages, my good brother. Mm-hmm. That's why I wrote to him. If anybody knows what I'm going through, it's you. That's why I wrote to him exactly that, and I was waiting for his response. I even told him about a situation that I was in. I was very vulnerable in that moment, bro. Pause, partner left. I'm saying to the GOAT, my nigga, this what I'm going through, Holmes. Then you go on the stream with Aiden, and you that and the third. I gave you a matter of time. You act like I don't exist. Cool, this, that, and the third. All fine, good, this, that, and the third. But you playing with my name. And paranoia kick in when you start dealing with the word rat, bro. You got to think. Stephon in Houston, the boy in Houston, this person affiliated. I can't afford $10 million security to protect my back at all costs. I also know that criminals don't do crime on the internet, so that's my buffer. So the same way you was protected in certain instances by just being able to speak up online, I'm gonna do the same for me, bro. I got kids. I got a real name. And at the end of the day, I've been through real shit. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. I've been on federal probation before. Why would I jump into a trick bag for some niggas who I was just putting clothes on and letting them look like me and they was paying me to do it? He get fruity and want to get in his bag and try to touch me in a way that I don't like. And I stand up for myself, and then he put a hit on my life, and I lose all my motherfucking friends, and this guy's supposed to look at me and call me a motherfucking rat? That don't make sense. And then hit me back talking about I ain't got all the details. That's cop-ass bullshit. No, Holmes, you out of pocket.
So I was reading your comment section, and I seen people comment, and they said, hey, bro, what you're doing currently is messing up opportunities. And I'm pretty sure you
who are these people that don't even have no motherfucking face? You can't tell me about no motherfucking opportunity. Mm-hmm. You don't know who I know. You don't know who I'm connected to. You don't know my abilities. You don't know my skill set. I'm just getting a chance to be able to speak to the quote-unquote world at attention. How could you be able to critique my life? You don't even know where I've been through to be able to get to this point where I'm speaking to academics in this very moment. So suck my muscle.
Listen, without a doubt, Drake is watching this. Whether he's watching this now or he's watching some post.
I love you, Goat. That's some current ass bullshit though, and you can't call a motherfucker a rat if you don't have no paperwork.
Do you believe that there's a possibility of maybe he sees this and be like, oh no, I get his side. All right, maybe I did tweak out. Because at this point, I think a lot of people looking like, yo, you've put him out. Like you're speaking against him.
What did he say that was OD though? That's what I'm trying to say.
No, not the messages, but even now, you're basically saying, hey, you snitched by going against Universal. I was disappointed about reference tracks and everything.
I've seen the GOAT piece it up with people who have said worse.
Okay.
Yeah, every time that Yeezy pieced it up, he had my head inflated. If I'm quoting correctly, something along those lines. I love, you know what I mean? For a long time, bro. He would always give me the green light to be able to come to his birthday party. His birthday 2 days before mine. I would be able to go, and that would be like my moment until my shit came. You know what I mean? My parents could have took me to IHOP by the time the 2 days later came because I had such a good time. Times I woke up in the back of OVO security cars, not even knowing where my wallet was, but I had so much of a good time, it didn't even matter to me. At the end of the day, the reverence is always there, and I'm forever grateful for the path that he sent. Even when I think about it from the perspective of me now being a writer / rapper, musician, singer, whatever you want to call it, even as I did see all of them names in the writing credits, I don't know if he just taking care of the guys like how Nav say he do, but even regardless, I'm grateful for the fact that whatever he did, I thought it was all him, and it forced me to be able to push my pen to just be one guy. So I'm grateful in that regard as well. In the same way, Kanye can come out of his mouth and say that if Drake wrote my raps, my life would be a better place. I still revere him in that regard, bro. My only thing was the fact that you called me a rat out of context, bro. You can't play like that, especially if you are affiliating yourself in certain worlds. That's the same name that my kids got. This the same name that my daughter got. I'm Chris Blake Griffith. My son Milo Blake Griffith. My daughter is Blake Aaliyah Griffith. I carry my name with legacy, Holmes, and when you attach rat to it and then say I ain't got no motherfucking details, that's sideways. This was a business relationship I had with these boys that tried me. No different than if Universal decided to play Funny Time and start digging into his closet and taking a shovel to his past and trying to find anything to just stir up controversy. It's no different, bro. I'm not spiraling out of emotion. This is sheer calculation. Come on, go.
So are you in fear of, maybe any retaliation? Like, obviously, I would imagine the OVO guys, they're not trying to kick it with you at this point, where there is...
Absolutely. I'm not. I wouldn't say fear. I'm a Christian man, so I walk by faith and not by sight. But I'm aware that they might have some ruffled feathers with some of the things that I have to say, and I also know that they are loyal to who they are loyal to, and that's the same pedigree I come from. And at this stage, I got to be loyal to me.
I mean, shit. I will follow up with a question to Drake later and be like, Drake, listen. I talked to the guy. There's some things that sound convincing. He never denied he knew you. He said, no, people know this.
He know me, yeah.
Like, no. He never denied it. He just said you were crashing out and, you were doing some cloud chasing.
I think he could legitimately believe that. But when you take the lens and you shift it slightly differently, I think you could look at it from a different perspective as well. Anything that I'm probably going through, if I put the mirror back at him, the reason I reached out to him is because out of all people, I figured dog knew exactly what the fuck I had going on, exactly what the fuck I was working on. I'm trying to feed my motherfucking kids, bro. That's all I'm doing. This is not associated with the fact that I got to feed my kids. But I did want to hold my goat accountable at the same time. And you can't call me no motherfucking rat without no motherfucking paperwork. That's too strong of a proclamation, bro.
And let me ask you a question. So
it's too. Go ahead.
A part of him supposedly saying that to you was he said this whole thing, and he says, I come from a family and a friend group or a city where basically saying it's not acceptable, and he lives by this code of law.
But it's not that. I come from that.
No, well, he's saying he comes from that too. Are you not believing it?
No. It's not that I'm not believing him. I'm saying he's looking at it wrong. Like, for instance, right? Throughout this call, when I spoke to you about Gervonta Davis, I had certain conversations. We touched on certain topics that could have been touchy. Do you think I treaded carefully and out of respect to a certain degree?
Yeah, I would imagine.
Right, and that's exactly what I did. Why? Because it's GTD on my wrist. It's GTD in my skin the same way as OVO on my skin, but that GTD shit.
Wait, you have an OVO tattoo?
Yeah, he know that.
Oh, I didn't know.
But that's not the focal point here. What I'm trying to say is, the people who I've actually built my family with, I looked at GTD and Gervonta Davis and them boys like family. We a decade and plus. We having disagreements and things of that nature right now. We might never speak again. But what was built, I guess you can compare it to kind of like with and I hate to pull other names into it, but kind of like you see Jimmy and his quarrels that go on with Cam and things of that nature. That's like my real brother to a certain degree. It's not my actual blood, but blood wouldn't make us closer. That's the relationship and the love that I got from my brother. I just think he get to a certain point of self-sabotage. But what I say is, you'll never hear me take it past a certain point and discuss some of the things that have gone on in my days spent in the GTD empire, the Gervonta Tank Davis empire, because of the fact that is my family and we don't discuss certain things. These niggas I don't know about, they not even street motherfuckers, bro. I compare it to Goldman Sachs. It'd be no different. The rate I was charging Stefan, I actually got from homes that worked at Vogue. And he wanted to charge a certain amount of money per style and day. I was doing a better job than him, so I just took his rate and kept it going. And Stefan was paying it. That was a business relationship, not no street shit. It turned to violence. And to that I say, it's the same thing that right now, if Universal decided to play funny business behind closed doors and put a shovel to his past and start digging up things and trying to draw narratives and this, that, and the third that have nothing to do with a business relationship. Stefan ain't no street dude. He done had street dudes around him that he didn't even know was street dudes that I knew better than he knew because I actually was doing quote-unquote street shit with him. I can speak to it now because it's all in our sight. But you'll never hear me take it past a certain point because I survived all that, bro. I'm just not going back into a trick bag. So the same point when he decided to quote-unquote whistleblow on Universal, I'm a quote-unquote whistleblow on these motherfucking Zestifieds that decided to take my life because, like, hello, here I am fighting for my motherfucking life, home. And they drawing narratives preventing me from actually getting work done. That's a problem, bro. And then when somebody who I consider to be a friend is calling me a rat and just so happens to be one of the biggest platforms both to the world and behind the scenes. Same way he said he know me and people know this guy, this, that, and the third. People have conversations. Same way he can think I'm spiraling is probably because he spoke to somebody that's like, yo, dog off his rocker, or this, that, and the third.
Hey.
Or Gervonta not around him, or this, that, and the third. Something along those lines. Go ahead, champ.
So when I looked at it, and even me thinking about it, I'm like, all right, I'm assuming everything is on up and up. I'm like, if Drake was not trying to own up to something, maybe it's because while he was explaining something to you, LeBron's name came up, and I don't think he wants to,
Bro, from a PR perspective, bro, it's so many different ways around that personally I would have navigated differently. If I would have been his team, he could have looked at me and said anything other than the fact that I lied. Anything other than that would have worked for me. He could have said, I was having a one-on-one conversation with somebody who I deemed to be a friend. Be careful who you trust in this industry. Anybody will turn on you. No new friends. Some shit like that. You could have spent it from that regard as opposed to saying a nigga lied. That's cap. So many different approaches. And Oliver and Future and all of them boys are highly intellectual on that side. So the fact that Oliver unfollowed me immediately, I mean, like clockwork. I mean, I get it. But at the end of it, and y'all go look up that song, that Safe House song by Mark Gray and Drake on SoundCloud. It's not actually Drake, but it's Mark Gray. It's a running video on YouTube. If anybody want to just do their homework, you'll see it. Me, Drake, Rocks, and Javante.
Hey, by the way, do you think that, I mean, you had one of your captions that basically say "not like us." Some people might be like, "Wow, that seems very disloyal." Like, as soon as you get in a problem with him, you're now claiming, his biggest ops song that's dissing him.
Bro, listen to me. He called me a rat. A rat. I've seen him piece it up with people who have done a lot worse. You want to pull every manuscript of Kanye bars or Kanye interviews where he spoke ill of the boy, whether it be with Justin LeBoy, whether it be with Nori, whether it be with... Bro, I'm probably as well versed in Drake as Drake. Like, I was in school on Sundays, and I'm reading the Bible, and I'm also reading the boy. Like, come on, bro. We come from this. You was probably raised on him the same way I was raised on him. That's why I fight as hard for him as I possibly could. That's why even in these moments where you call me a rat, I'm gonna still regard you as the GOAT. I think you are the GOAT artist of all time. But calling me a rat is out of bounds, champ, and inapplicable. And if you feel like I'm spiraling, I feel like you pulling that car. Whoever's leading you down the path to believe that it's a good idea to sue for defamation and the heated blows of a verbal spat. Sideways, bad advising.
Yeah, I see the internet that they're very like excited and also like they're like, yo, well, if Drake lied to you, what does this mean? And I'm a little tempered in how I'm looking at it. So I brought it to him. I said, this isn't true. Now, granted, I don't like when people lie if they do. And he could have no commented and I would have just had nothing to say.
Yo, he could have pulled the move like he said his mother taught him, the 72-hour rule, the 3-day rule. He could have pulled that, let it slide. Like, come on, bro.
Okay.
You could have did that.
All right, so let's go with this idea that he purposely deceived me. Why do you think he did that?
I think coming off the heels of that freestyle leaking, I think probably within the OVO umbrella at this point, they want him quiet. They want to marginalize the words and any copy that comes from out of his mouth at this point in time. They have an active petition going on with UMG. So anything he says can and will be used against him in that regard. I don't think he said anything bad in the text messages or the DMs, rather, that he sent to me. I don't see a flaw from a perspective of legality. I think he cited his opinion. I think he gave a hypothetical example of if LeBron were to have been cheating on his wife, this is what this would look like. I don't think he outed the man. And I also think that the pairing in time of Fighting Irish Freestyle and the releasing of Our Conversation being paired together, and they took what I thought was just a few bars about his previous ties and relationship with Bron and them boys on that side. The Rat Pack, I feel like people made that whole song about Bron. And when they made that whole song about Bron, to see LeBron's name in these DMs, run wild. I think it's just a narrative that's all connected. But they want to marginalize it. That's why probably Oliver jumped immediately to the side. Yo, get this nigga out of here. Well, not nigga, but yeah, get this motherfucker out of here. Unfollow, draw all association to the left. He's spiraling, he crazy, you just see that. Man, I'm intact. At the end of the day, I'm doing this shit for anybody who was ever had their back pushed to the wall, who did right and was done wrong. I got to do what I got to do. I'm stepping for all of us. That's that.
Any chance of reconciliation between whether you and Javante Davis, whether you and Stephon Diggs, or even Drake?
Stephon, it never happened because it was a business relationship. We don't have to have business dealings no more. And once you like me, you're probably always going to like me. So you can keep that energy on that side. I have no issue with the gay community or any of that community whatsoever. Lesbians, trans community, I have no issues with any of them. All I ask is that you respect my personal space the same way I respect your personal space. If I'm not coming on to you, don't come on to me. If you're coming on to me and I feel as though, and you get the gist that I'm refusing, respect my space, and that be that. He violated that. When he violated that, we don't have no more dealings. And aside from that, you put a hit on my motherfucking life, Holmes. And then the Houston Texans allowed this motherfucker to walk on the field.
Wait. That's a heavy accusation. You believe
No, it's the truth. If niggas show up to your door with guns and knives and they dragging you out the elevator by your feet and it's 3-1 and they at your doorstep and they don't leave with nothing but the belongings on you and they do it on camera and they don't wear no mask and they trying to get in my crib, what else would it be for? And I ain't spoke to him since. What else would it be for? I would never show up to somebody's house with a gun with 3 of me for no reason. Like, come on. That don't make sense. Those are all calculated decisions. And the dudes that came and pulled up on me, 2 of them was wearing a Baltimore exclusive clothing line. So I know what city they come from. Steph from up the street, PG County-esque. I'm from Baltimore. I know the line. Shout out to Off Tour and Dovell. Yeah. That's that. I could calculate. But in that moment, God being my compass, I was strategic enough to get myself up out of there. And I'm suing my building for premises liability, and that be that. The reason Derez even got pulled in is because his dumbass played in the NFL, and the video got leaked on TMZ before my family could even see it. I mean, hear about it from me. Javante called me from the cell. Javante called me from the cell about the motherfucking video as soon as it came out. That was the first person that called me when he was pent up in Baltimore for that little stint that he had. And we had a good conversation. We talked life. We talked manhood. We said, yo, they want us divided. And we had just got through another quarrel. People try to divide and conquer us because together we are a superpower. Rox even hit me. On the tape, I say, Rox just hit me, say he hate to see the family go bad. The OVO caught that deconfirmation shit that we had. I mean, I thought we was. I'm like his future the prince. Sent you $100,000 contract signed on my print. You wouldn't sign your name on contract, so I signed for the wrist. Now, I won't speak no more behind some shit that go on the wrist. Scarface and Manny, me and G was taking over the world, and then this dumbass brother lied. He run his mouth like a girl. I got other subject matter I could touch on for real, but bear with me. It's therapeutic. Agree with my family still. So we'll get through it. You know what I mean? Time will allow things to go the way they're supposed to. But in the meantime, he got his shit going on. I got mine.
Okay. Is there any way I could put you and Drake on the phone, man? I could talk this out, man.
I feel like you're setting me up, but yeah, that's cool.
No. I'm not talking publicly. I'm not talking about publicly.
Oh, privately.
Privately.
Yeah. Thoroughly. It don't gotta be no bad blood. And honestly, Holmes didn't say no crazy shit to me. I just do not align with my name being played with, so I gotta get ahead of it, bro. I gotta get ahead of it. When that hit was placed on my life, I'm getting calls from the surrounding Houston area, homies that I know. And you could be my homie, but if we just my homie and you ain't really my friend or my family, and you calling me talking about what the streets are saying and this, that, and the third, I'm like, what? Automatically, you getting blocked. I really come from this, bro. You don't really teeter them lines. If you calling my phone talking about a motherfucking hit, I don't know if you entering or not, so I'm going to just put you on the other side off rip. You can't come to my phone talking about no more. And I know Holmes is established in the States. I can't be playing like that, bro. You can't play like that. Don't throw that rap word around with my name associated.
Hey, by the way,
love.
Hey, by the way, you accuse Javante of being pretty much gay. You call him Javante gay.
I'm playing with my brother. That's okay. I don't really think he's a homosexual.
Oh, no. So you don't. But you think Stephon Diggs? He's sweet.
I know he is. Man, what? At your grandmother's house.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah, with the domino sugar so thick, you got to stir it every single time you pour some. Yeah, that vibe. Holmes a zest ball, and he tried to press that button on my motherfucking life, and now he got to deal with it. The Houston Texans let this motherfucker walk on the field with free chapel in his motherfucking eyes, and it's the same nigga that dragged me out the motherfucking elevator. What type of time is you on? Niggas get these millions and get confused. That was never your MO. That was never your pedigree. You don't really come from this. And since I do come from this, it's no different than when 50 got in position and switched and brought off-duty police officers as his security as his line of protection because niggas ain't gonna do shit to no motherfucking cop. You gotta get smarter out here. And to anybody that's young watching this shit coming up in the game, don't crash out. Gather receipts. Don't crash out. I repeat, don't crash out. Just make sure you got receipts and get your ability to articulate on your behalf up.
Wow, interesting. All right, I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. So this is my takeaway. It appears that the you and Drake saga has a lot more than maybe
Layers.
fans and even myself would probably, you know, initially admit what's going on. Because I'm not gonna be honest with you. I went with the you're super cloud chasing this and third, but it appears that you were integral part of having a connection with Drake and OVO towards Javante Davis, and it seems like you felt disappointed by how things went down, right?
Thoroughly. And then you add the rat to it, and now we got like a deeper issue because that's the same. Him calling me that is like what Holmes called him. I'm not gonna say it, but you get what I'm saying.
Nobody called Drake a rat. Who called Drake a rat?
No. I'm talking about Kendrick, and Kendrick did call him a rat, but he called him something else. Kendrick called him a rat, but he called him something else.
Oh, they call him a colonizer. You don't think Drake's a colonizer?
No, bro. The P word.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's two things. When you go to jail or you get tied up in a bind or some shit like that, if you that or you a rat, they on your head top.
Wait, hold on.
So don't play
what do you think about Drake checking LeBron on that though? Because LeBron been dancing a little bit too heavy.
I think he feel like I feel like your friend turned on you.
So you're saying that
at the same time, but to Bron's defense, you got to think about it, bro. He is, at the end of the day, the face of the Los Angeles Lakers. He does have a job to do. Maybe he could have went in the shiesty.
Wait, that job got nothing to do with him showing up at Kendrick's show. Come on now,
you gotta be a diplomat. You gotta be a diplomat for the city. This is LA.
Hey, that was not at the crypto arena. That nigga showed up to Inglewood at some other shit. That nigga. Hey, listen. I've said. Hey,
you're right.
I'll get into this a little bit later, but I'm glad I talked to you. I'm gonna be honest with you. Your credibility is boosted because I'm gonna be honest with you. I did believe Drake that you were just cloud chasing and crashing out. You kind of are crashing out, but you do have you have a reason why. You have a reason why because you feel you were wronged. And I mean, shit. If somebody's standing up for whatever they believe in because they feel they were wrong, I don't know if that's necessarily just a random crash out rather than someone saying, I'm just not going for the shit no more. So it is what it is.
Yeah, I walked into this year, bro, just basically saying no remorse. For so long, situations were just swept under the rug. Even money that like Javante owe me now and shit like that. It's people that's like writing me on behalf of their team that I know are owed money. Because Holmes don't pay no motherfucking body. I love my brother. He just don't pay no motherfucking body but the hoes. And it's like, come on, bro. At the end of the day, somebody got to eat. And once these niggas get kids, or you get a girl to start asking you for shit, or you just wake up and want to be a man and provide for yourself in a different regard than you were doing before, you start realizing these dots ain't connecting and the time spent away ain't making sense. If I do a training camp for 3 months and my monthly bills is $5,000 a month, that's supposed to be $15,000 covered. At the end of the 3-month camp, I get a check for $12,000, and I'm happy because I got a lump sum of $12,000. But in the grand scheme of things, I'm still $3,000 short. That's bullshit. And I spent time away from my kids, my family, my this, that, and the third for a look. You look up, and now you 7 camps in, and every time the business scale, you still at the same pay grade. That's not my narrative. I'm just saying it does exist around that situation. That shit is fucked up. It's not okay. But I still love my brother. I just think he operated out of ignorance, and he don't want to let go of what needs to be let go of in order for the business to run the way it's supposed to.
Okay,
but he got it.
If you run into Chubbs, man, what's gonna happen, bro? I'm serious.
Well, his lovely lady Zizi and my lovely lady Alexa are actually colleagues and good friends. So hopefully they can put us on the phone and we can have a conversation like, man, it shouldn't have to escalate to no form of disrespect because I don't feel like I disrespected them, bro. All I'm saying is I'm not a rat. And that's that. It's been times me and Chubbs done hosted the club together before. If you look at my page right now, as a matter of fact, you go down deep enough, pardon the left pause, you'll see I'm hosting this, that, and the third OVO takeover in D.C. Chubbs is on the same bill. He might have blocked me now, so you might not even be able to see it. But if my memory serves me correctly, he's in the comments. So that's that, bro. And if Preem is still mad about the gloves, again, I say, my good brother, I'm not the reason your gloves ain't get signed. I bought them motherfucking gloves. Truth be told, I wish I still had the receipt.
Jeez. All right. All right, my brother Chris, I appreciate you coming on here and at least validating your gripes. Whether people, I will say this: Drake is one of the greatest artists of all time, and
The greatest.
yeah, and even if everything you're saying is true, people are gonna be like, well, maybe you were entitled, maybe you were asking for too much, maybe you did something else, maybe you're not telling the whole story, and that's what's gonna be. So are you good with leaving it here? Is there more stuff you're gonna put out, or are you're good with, like, hey, listen, as long as my name is cleared, that I'm not, just some snake that's just turning on this guy, and people understand my side, I'm good with letting it go? Or is there more to come?
I mean, as an artist, the majority of what I go through as somebody who came from the school of thought, I like to compare like schools of thought as we grow up listening to these artists psychologically on repeat. You adapt their ideologies in the same way that he built a career predicated on telling the truth. I've done so too. So fortunately enough, right now, I got a tape that just dropped not too long ago, Chris Blake the mixtape. The majority of said detail exists all in the bars throughout the tape. I don't know why Go had the nerve to say I was ratting all through the tape, when all he's done his entire career is tell the God honest truth. So I'm not sure if he pressed play or if somebody told him what they heard or their synopsis of it was. But I encourage everybody out there to press play on Chris Blake the mixtape. Follow me at Chris Blake Griffith on Instagram, and yeah, you just gonna get more visuals and more music, champ. That's it.
All right, man. Yeah, I appreciate you coming on here, and also for everybody who's asking me, um, it does put me in a bind and a pickle, because I'm gonna be honest with you. Normally, when I speak to Drake and I ask him a question, and a direct question, if he
You don't have
doesn't
these
answer, he
problems.
don't answer. But if he does
Yeah.
answer, I do expect that, And by the way, I'll even volunteer something else, where maybe like a month or two ago, and I forgot the back and forth, but I was just like, you know, I, I think he had said something that ended up being true, and I was just like, yeah, like I'm glad you tell me the truth. And he was just like, he's like, bro, if I ever lied to you, and I was like, I don't know, and I said, I don't know, and he was just like, when, and I couldn't point to something. Maybe this is it. Maybe this
It's
is
the first.
maybe
It's the
who
first.
knows.
Me as a historian of the boy, from Room for Improvement to Comeback Season to the script, bro. We can list them all the way down. It's the first time I ever seen Dog come out and publicly lie, and I honestly am like, why would you even do that? That like piqued my antennas even more. You didn't even have to. I don't even feel like you said no OD shit, bro. I don't, honestly. You can clean that up easy. Maybe I'm doing the wrong thing for a living. Cause that's a PR. That's a PR sweep. Easy money. Hypothetical conversation. I was betrayed by somebody who I was close enough to have a personal conversation that was taken public out of contact. Be careful with who you trust. That's how you could have spun it. Don't say you lied.
By the way,
That's
I
foolishness.
agree with both of that, and I will say I think what happened is that there was twofold: the LeBron conversation and the whole thing about he hasn't spoken on the lawsuit. So like both things were like, oh wow, this is hot off the presses now. Now this is news, right? Like this is big news.
He could have pulled the anything else. Everybody else said they get hacked. Why he ain't just say that?
Because you would have dropped the screenshots. Like you would have said, no, you weren't, nigga. All right,
Good
my
man,
man.
good man.
Okay, so people can go check out your music. Is Chris Blake Griffith? Is it on DSPs everywhere?
Yeah, everywhere, champ. Everywhere. And I'm on, I mean, TikTok ain't but so much longer, but you can find me on YouTube. I'm doing my thing on there as well. Chris Blake Griffith as well on YouTube. Chris Blake Griffith on Instagram. Yeah, let's keep pushing this motherfucker to the top. I'm fighting for everybody that was ever done wrong. Let's do right.
All right, great. I'm hoping we have a conversation later on. Hopefully, maybe not revolving around this, but just more about you and your story. But I appreciate you getting on here, my man, and at least
My
giving us
dog.
some
And when I
clarity.
come back, I'm dealing with the fires and shit in LA and all that. But when I come back east,
Mhm.
I'm gonna sit with you. We'll chop it up. I bring you some a good little bottle of cognac. I know you get busy, champ. So we'll have a good conversation.
Nah, definitely, brother. All right, appreciate you, man.
Yep.
All right. That was a long conversation.